If AI isn't actually doing things for you, updating your calendar, building travel dashboards, and booking reservations, you're only scratching the surface. Let's take a quick journey through the last 4 years of AI progress. Most people are using AI like it's still 2022. And the gap between how people think this works and what it can actually do is just getting bigger. So let me show you what I mean. What I want to do is walk through a simple example. I'm going to plan a ski trip, same task, but in 3 different ways, and each method represents a different era of AI from 2022 until now. So let's travel back to 2022 when ChatGPT first launched. I call this the generative era. Plan a ski trip in Switzerland for an intermediate skier traveling from Zurich. Include 3 destinations, a simple day-by-day itinerary, and estimated costs. As these results come back, you'll notice a pretty familiar pattern. You get a structured answer, usually with a few options, a rough plan, and maybe a day-by-day outline. It looks polished, it reads well, and it feels useful. But if you think about it for a second, what you're really getting here is a well-written version of something you could have found by searching online. It's broad and generalized and not really tailored to your specific situation unless you explicitly guide it there. So this type of AI is what I'd call the generative era of AI, which really kicked off in November 2022 with ChatGPT. AI could suddenly write and communicate like a human, but under the hood, what it's doing is taking massive amounts of data from the internet, finding patterns in that data through training, and producing very convincing autocompletes based on your prompt. The key idea here is simple. AI generates content. It'll give you information, but it doesn't really steer your thinking or do actual tasks. Era 2 is the reasoning era. So let's take that same task and approach it differently. Here's a prompt. I want to plan a ski vacation from Zurich in December 2026. Help me choose the best ski resort based on these criteria. Ask clarifying questions before answering, then compare the top 3 options, explain trade-offs, and recommend one and justify your choice. Now as this response comes back, the interaction starts to feel a bit different. Instead of jumping straight to an answer, the system may ask questions, it may structure the response around comparisons, trade-offs, and constraints. What you're seeing here is the model trying to understand the problem more deeply before committing to an output. The responses tend to be more structured. You'll often see options being evaluated against each other, with some explanations on why one might be better than the other, depending on what you care about. This is where AI starts to feel less like a content generator and more like something you can think with. It's helping organize the problem, surface the important variables, and guide you toward a decision. That's the key shift here. It's not just about giving you information quickly, it's helping you make sense of it. This is what I call the reasoning era of AI, which was about between middle of 2023 to the beginning of 2025. Models like GPT-4 made this possible. They could handle multi-step thinking, compare options, and structure decisions. What's interesting here is that the interface really didn't change much in this era. It still looks the same. You type something and it responds, and you might not have even noticed when this shift happened. But under the hood, this was a big leap. Because now instead of just generating a response based on pure probability and patterns, the system is actually working through a problem. It's asking questions, it's identifying what matters, it's comparing options and weighing trade-offs. That's a very different behavior. Before it would just give an answer, now it's helping you arrive at one. And this shift is what lays the foundation for the next era we're starting to see now, here in 2026. I would classify the current era of AI as the Agentic era. So up to this point, I've been using AI mostly in 2 ways. First, I ask it to generate something, then I worked with the AI to think through a decision. But now I'm going to shift how I use it again. Instead of asking for an answer, I'm going to give it a set of tasks, and I'm going to treat it like an assistant. What that means is I'm not looking for one output anymore. I'm asking it to work through the whole process. Plan the trip, find options for dinners, hotels, etc., draft the messages I'll need to send, and even build a dashboard that helps track tasks. One important note, I'm going to ask it to stop after each step and check in with me before continuing. This is what you call keeping the human in the loop. So instead of it just running and giving me everything at once, we're turning into something more interactive, more controlled. This is where the experience starts to feel different. Not just something that gives you information, not just something that helps you think, but something that can actually help you move work forward. The responses tend to feel more operational, less about what you could do and more about how to actually do it. And once you have something like this, it becomes very easy to keep going. You can turn this checklist into actual tasks for the AI to complete. At this point, you're not just exploring or deciding anymore. You're starting to move into execution. And that's really the defining characteristic of this phase. The system is no longer helping you think, it's helping you move the task forward. Instead of stopping here, I can start actually handing off real tasks to the AI. First, I'll update my calendar with the ski vacation dates and rough schedule. I've connected Claude to my Google Calendar, so instead of entering everything manually, I'll just give it the plan and let it handle the setup. This is one of those small moments that adds up. Something that would normally take a few minutes of clicking and typing gets handled in the background. Now I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to use the Claude Chrome extension to prepare my hotel reservation. I'll copy the trip details, open the hotel website, and bring up the Claude extension in the browser. Then I'll give it a clear task. Find the right dates, identify good room options, and help me get everything ready for booking. From here, the AI can read the page, understand what's on the screen, and help move through the steps. I'll keep an eye on it before confirming anything, but you can already feel how Agentic AI can help with getting tasks done. And just to zoom out for a second, tools like Claude Chrome extension are really powerful in these situations. It will help you navigate messy websites, pull out information that actually matters, compare options, help with shopping decisions, and even guide you through multi-step tasks without having to do everything manually. All of this that we've done is what's emerging as the Agentic AI era. AI does more than generate text or help you reason. It starts to participate in workflows and help you move things forward. The key here is execution. So if you step back, the progression is pretty clear. First, AI gave you information. Then it helped you make decisions, and now it starts to help you get things done. And the gap right now is that most people are still using AI in that first mode. But AI is capable of so much more today, and who knows where it goes from here. We don't fully know how all this plays out yet, but we do know that AI's capabilities are still rapidly improving. So the real question isn't whether you're using AI, it's how you're thinking about it. Because if you're still thinking about AI like it's 2022, you're missing out on so much opportunity.